In a rare moment of vulnerability, I asked my husband this question, and knew I'd just empowered us to divorce. Our marriage was perfunctory at best. No passion, rare sex, but I'm an optimist. And we were naive. We believed that we could overcome the obligatory and distant nature of our relationship and grow a healthy family from our shared background and common goals. To this end, we tried marriage counseling. Twice over the course of a few years we looked to professionals to bridge the gap between us. The first attempt lasted just one session. The therapist clearly wasn't listening when we explained our relationship's origin story of an accidental pregnancy. She lamely asked us, "What made you two fall in love?" He and I looked at each other in a moment of rare solidarity, and knew we wouldn't be going back. We tried again, with someone seemingly more astute, who saw us together and separately. This attempt ended a few months in, when during an argument he told me that the therapist had advised him, "If her behavior doesn't change, you should leave her." I never did find out if he was telling me the truth. If so, that therapist was both unethical and unskilled in personality disorders and attachment styles. If he was lying, well, then, it was just another example of his using a person of authority to poke at my shame and push me away. The year our son was 4, we made a big move across the country, from Virginia back to our roots in Northern California. The idea was that since we weren't succeeding on our own, maybe familiar places and faces would save our marriage. This included a family cruise to Alaska with my in-laws and our son for my 38th birthday. It was awkward at best. Aboard the cruise ship, my husband and I still weren't interested in the same activities, so I experienced some pretty amazing things, alone, or wrangling a wily 4-year-old boy on my own. Chekhov's gun. Shades of the single parenthood to come. My blood quickened as I tracked a pod of orca hunting seals at sunset. My teeth ached at the eerie, echoing, hissing crack of glaciers calving. I watched with wonder and worry as huge chunks of ice dropped into the ocean, their rippling waves sending kayakers surfing. I sat wrapped in my warmest clothes at the back of the ship, my lonely heart's longings drowned out by the deafening roar of the massive engines and lulled by the vibrating deck and churning wake. In a sense, the move back home and the vacation had worked. I felt safe and refreshed enough to seek help and put in extra effort to keep the marriage afloat. I asked my in-laws for advice. I tried to be the wife his mother always thought he needed. Naive optimism struck again. My counseling psychology studies shed light on what I'd been experiencing since my teen years, a personality disorder born of childhood trauma. I attended individual therapy to heal my invisible wounds. I leaned into my role as a stay-at-home mom while finishing grad school and teaching yoga part-time. I intentionally pursued intimacy with my husband at the behest of my new therapist, and became pregnant with our second child. Right after getting our son a dog for his birthday, my life and heart were full, overflowing in fact. And that was the problem. All of my energy, efforts and emotions were met by increasingly more of the same cold avoidance I had come to know from my husband. Again, my psychology studies shed light on the experience. He has an avoidant attachment style, which incutes feeling discomfort with most anything to do with emotions, emotional intimacy, engaging with his own emotions, empathizing, trusting, prioritizing others, attending to anyone else's needs. So there I was reeling from all the feels. In the fall of 2017, our son started kindergarten. I finished my master's, our daughter was born, and I began navigating new personal and professional communities.